The Sivir ultimate allows you to have even more playmaking when that actualizer is realized for Showmaker later on. I think so much of this game is in the hands of Sponge in the side of Nongshim.
Stole his away though. And so now Lucid will be able to find him here. Level 6 for the Jarvan. Should mean that he will be able to win a fight up against Sponge. But he hits 6 now off that one little Raptor. And now's a Realm Warp coming in. There's the knockup onto Sponge as Showmaker turns up. Cataclysm onto Sponge. The flash out from Lucid to try and keep him alive as Showmaker is now looking for a Tempered Fate. And that's going to interrupt the ulti escape. And Sponge is dead. Korea moves over and will be able to help grab that first blood for Showmaker. Beautifully played here by D+.
Ghost comes out. The Tempered Fate denies the ultimate. And there's no escape.
Oh, well, now Showmaker's dead. Okay. Just barely didn't have his flash up and available. But Fate interruption, so playing that one very well was the support. Gets that roam first. popBlossom going to connect onto 2. Here towards the bottom side. Barrier from Smash is trying to help out here, is on the hunt. Gives them that extra movement speed.
Better right now as Kingan's forced to flash even as well.
Ulti traded for flash here, probably good for Xia, you could say, as Nongshim starting off this Drake will be able to take that one as Korea moving over to fight Taeun. As Lucid and Showmaker looking to try and find some stragglers. I don't know whether they'll be able to.
Just D+ could not get enough control over the pit here, and Showmaker's Realm Warp is coming up just now. There, pushes him out of lane, it's on a plate, and are feeling really comfortable. As now all Plus complete here for Nongshim. Sponge is up here.
Yeah, Xia maybe stepping a little far forward, does try and avoid some of that CC, but he's going to get smoked. Now looking to try and turn this one as he goes all out looking for Sponge. The rest of the team all turn up as well as the equalizer comes down. Xia is just fine as Kingan will be able to get a kill before he dies, but it looks like Xia will survive. So 1 for 1 here in this top side as everyone called all their mates.
Yeah, he can angle here, so I think he just has to hard push the bottom lane, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Now it's going to force a reaction.
Yeah, Tempered Fate is available as well, so Korea can take control of this if they'd like to.
I mean, they're just going to send him in.
Yeah, let's see whether it works. Cataclysm comes on down. There's the Tempered Fate to hold 2 in position as Scout and Taeun able to hold on, but Lucid just says, thank you very much. Highway robbery here as now the Weaver's Wall comes down. Showmaker trying to flash away, and he's going to be able to do so. That's a beautiful one.
Stuff.
Yeah, really nicely done. And now it's an Ocean Soul, and we're even on Dragons. Rift Herald now going to be what they're considering as Cosmic Binding does go wide, but Sponge taking a lot of damage, throws up the Aegis, and is going to be able to land that stun. Equalizer lands on top of Lucid quite nicely. Showmaker down to 50%, Flag and Drag gets Lucid out of there as Kingan still wants his fight, as it looks like Lucid going to be that target, and he will get taken down. Xiu now off to the side, wanting to try and grab one of these Nongshim members. They do get control vision of this full health Cassante, who's looking pretty dangerous. Seismic Shove not going to connect onto Career as now Showmaker taking a fair bit of damage. And it's just going to be the Rift Herald taken. It's kind of beautiful macro play on both sides.
Yeah, honestly.
As Nongshim just push them away, guarantee the Rift Herald, and they now might be able to get this outer turret in mid as well.
LCK is so good this year. It really is. It's actually so fun. So they basically, like I was saying before, okay, hold on, we're going to have Scout looking for a collapse.
Yeah, Showmaker. Oh, going to get shoved. So he's dead. That is beautifully played. Scout gave him no choice.
Showmaker's face on the player cam as well. So dies and loses Realm Warp.
Well, there's Magical Journey as Scout is going to be put into Golden Stasis. Then does flash away. Seismic Shove to hold on to Lucid here as now Sponge makes his way in. The Pantheon-Talia combo looking pretty good in the hands of Nongshim today as they will be able to take down this outer turret in the bottom lane.
Favor the Talia getting more money, by the way. She has, yes, a lot of money. 2,000 gold ahead of this Rise that Showmaker opted into. And, you know, those CS numbers for him, the average, I think is going to be going down quite heavily after this game. Lead is Scout, right? So yeah. This game still feels relatively playable here for D+. It's Ocean Soul. They're just going to give up a single dragon here and trade for what looks like eventually a turret for Showmaker. If you're Showmaker, you're like, this is the only play, right? Just sit and farm, scale up. We do have a lot of damage later on. We have a really, really robust front line.
Double tier. I think with Essence Reaver, it's a little bit more common, but looks like he's not going there this time. Just going to be going for a little bit more of a classic regular blue Ezreal. And We'll see what he's going to be grabbing third. Might just be Herald. This is okay. Cataclysm comes in as out goes Lucid after losing most of his health bar. Weaver's Wall was there in exchange as teleport comes through from Shiu. Showmaker now off to the side as Scout going down relatively low. Shiu looking for the angle, gets the flash out, so Scout is going to be okay. Gets out of the Tempered Fate as well, but Sponge not going to be so lucky as the Seismic Shove does nothing at all. Kingin not even teleporting into this fight as Taeun below 50%, able to get control of mid-wave. Survive and holds onto the flash. Smash now with some Crystalline Overgrowth to explode, and that is going to be a very dead turret very quickly.
Get the TP out.
Yeah, Taeun moving in. There's on the hunt just to get out of there. Equalizer just going to be a red carpet to allow Smash to leave.
TP back for Shiu, who's coming over.
Yeah, he's got that big old shield to work with as well. Kingin still with his residual ears. Lucid flashes in. Great triple knockup as there's the Tempered Fate just to buy some space, but it's Sivir getting fed. There is the Dragon going over to Lucid. They'll take down Sponge as well as it's a double for the Sivir. We said the item spike was big, and it's now going to be even bigger as Nongshim just nothing to offer back.
Baron on this patch. Well, there's no equalizer for 4 seconds.
Yeah, and Smash does so much damage to this as well, but now Nongshim making their way in. Great Seismic Shove gonna catch. Shiu there is now Kingin looking for it. There's the knockup on Taeun as Lucid gets into the backline. Showmaker able to come on over and offer that damage, and Shiu just looking unkillable right now as Kingin really wants to take down these lower health bars. Somehow all of DK is still alive, by the way. No idea how that one works as they dive on forward and down goes Kingin.
Work, but actually it still gets caught by the shove as they are doing Baron live after Lehens.
Oh, Lehens did that thing where he died in the river because that led to a victory last week against Halma Life Esports. This time around, though, it won't lead to a victory, I don't think, because now DK will take Baron for free, and that is going to be all 5 members with the buff. Lehens doing Lehens things is not something that we ever discount, but there is a knockback. Oh, Shiu just picks him up, throws him back into the team, but the equalizer goes down. Sponge, the first one to die here, is now Lucid in the backline, looks for Taeun, the wall comes in, but Shiu is already down. Oh, Scout though, that is a big pickup, does have Magic Pen and now a Death Cap. So this Talia is going to be doing damage, throws down the wall now, looking for an angle towards Showmaker, who's going to be that first target. He does have the stasis, though, from Korea, whose bot has been so good today. By the way, into the backline goes Shiu. They do take down the Rise, as now Lucid and Shiu just trying to keep the rest of them at bay. Smash now needs to be wary of Sponge, so he will be taking him down first. And Shiu just kills Kingin? Where the heck did that come from? As Korea, Lucid, I don't know about that one. He does flag and drag, but he is still going to die. There is the Cosmic Binding onto Taeun. Korea, you need to be careful of those magical journeys. Not into it. It's one of those shows that you want to go to with a friend.
Ultimately, this does give Nongshim a little bit of space to potentially get Soul Point. Yeah, and I think they will get it.
They should be able to, down to 2,000, as Lucid not quite able to get in there in time. Let's see whether Nongshim can escape. That's the real question here, is now Korea looking to line up that Tempered Fate. They're all in that Banana Brush, as Shiu just looking to try and hold on to them.
It's easy to play, isolate single targets.
Level 19 Cassante, by the way, is it, like, that's a very large health bar.
He has Jack shows as well, so he doesn't really get hurt by things.
He's not really getting hurt by things. I'm seeing that. There is also a GA on Smash, so he's feeling pretty comfortable as well as Lehens looks for an angle onto Showmaker and does not find it. Gets a flash though, as now you've got Scout in so much trouble. That's just a cheeky cue from Showmaker. Looks for the Realm Warp, gets it, and then gets into that backline as now Kingin looking to try and barbecue Korea. He is definitely the only one that he can really get through in a quick manner as Sponge fails the flash and gets knocked into Timbuktu. And Kingin, he's running there. This is not exactly looking like the way he wants to go. Magical Journey is unnecessary as Kingin is defecting. The rest of D+ just looking to try and end this game as a Tempered Fate going to come off cooldown and go into the Nether. And yes, Kingin just taking them on a merry chase.
I mean, Kingin's bought enough time here to where it looks like they're going to have to use the Baron to end rather than just be able to walk down as 5 and end the game.
Well, he is just going to die because you cannot just try and teleport away in front of a minion wave and a Bard. But the Baron, like you say, is going to be the option. That's not really a thing that we're really too worried about, as Turret going to be falling down towards that top side of the map. It's just the Winions making this one happen as the rest of DK looking to siege up bot and mid.
The top inhibitor's already under siege by minions alone. And it will go down eventually.
Yep. Korea making his way over here as Tempered Fate is going to snag onto the Nico. Lehens He is trying to pop Blossom, but he's still just going to die. Korea is going to be going down as well. Both supports are dead, but these ricochets, man, are tearing Nongshim apart. And Shiu looks like he's kind of immune to damage, which is not what you want to see on the enemy team. As Rumwop not going to be taken here from Showmaker. He just wants to take down these inhibitors, and all three of them just erupt in a moment. All of a sudden, it's our largest gold lead in the game as DK look to finish off these last couple of towers. Scout just getting hit by ricochets, that's it. And he's already down to 50%. As Smash throwing away these boomerangs where he can.
And the cannon minions are really just chipping away. It's only a matter of time. They have to make some sort of play. They're sitting back.
Yeah, we got the zoom in here, just trying to work out what Nongshim can do about this.
They don't have equalizer for a few more seconds.
Oh, Shiu goes in. There's a Weaver's Wall from Scout, just trying to take control of the situation. Lucid goes in, then he's out. As Sponge, speaking of which, he's going to go out via the Death Chamber, or at least via his GA for now. Taeyoon being held onto here by Showmaker is on the other side of the fight. Smash is completely safe. Shiu might be taken out. Never mind. He is a mega tank, and he is not going to be dying here as Showmaker goes golden, and the Nexus goes down. D+ Kia. An incredible late game performance.
I look at these two drafts and I'm like, okay, this game is going to be a one-sided game. I don't think there's any way this game is close. It's either the composition of D+ Kia gets ahead early, snowballs things, running the map with Showmaker fed on the Zoe.
And DK on their last legs here in this bottom lane, but will keep themselves alive for now.
Critically Smash did not have to flash, so that's a summoner spell advantage for the AD carry. Same is true of Lehens, but AD carry having that often feels a lot better. As Nocturne's coming down here, but Sponge is not alone. How quickly can he take Smash out is the question.
Yeah, that's the big deal. Zenith Blade is going to connect, and that means that there is a kill going over to Lehen. Sponge gets out of turret range, though, as Lucid looking to try and chase him down. Isn't going to be able to quite find the angle there. Lucid takes himself a cannon. This top side, level 6 is about to be gained, or at least half a level away for both of our top laners.
Okay, now we have the big group up for D+ and a Randuin's.
Yeah, there's a hook to start this one off as Eclipse is getting some work done. There's the flash out. Lehens just pops like a balloon. Down goes the Kiana, though, in response as Sponge will get stunned up. Paddlestar is going to get spell shielded nicely. There's the flash in from Showmaker, picks up the kill, and then steals a flash to get out. Now Taeyoon's dead as well as the hail of arrows rains down, and DK moved to 3-2.
Career hits this hook. Career having a great day.
Yeah, is it Korea POM? Like, what's happening here?
Might be.
Portal jump here from Showmaker gets him back to where he doesn't want to be. Now Lucid having to bounce his way up, but that's not going to work. And Sponge and Scout making it work once again.
Smash without cleanse here. Does have his flash.
Yeah, Lehen's going to start this one up. Can tank for a while with that Eclipse running, but Career is moving forward. Lehen's is very dead, and Smash is actually alive. So just a dive that isn't really what they were looking for. Taeyoon just walking away on fire right now, but Sponge is moving in. Career looking worse for wear now as the Nocturne looking to make his way down, and Lucid wanting to get this one done is going to show up. Smash at 100 health, though, needs to be very careful as there's a piercing arrow connecting onto Taeyoon. Career likely to die as there's a paranoia. He goes in. Sponge looking to try and make his way out. Dustbringer might be able to speed him up, but Showmaker is rotating down. There is that cue to come on forward, and so Sponge is going to make it to the darkness. To rotate down, doesn't have Paranoia up and available, and Supreme Display of Talent is there for Lucid now that he has hit that level 6. Looks like it is just going to be grab one of the grubs and then move on with your life, or at least could be, but he's discovered that there's no one coming, so he's just going to be able to take all three most likely.
Sponge still doesn't have his Paranoia, so I think he feels pretty safe if he's tracking that ultimate, and also the fact that there's no one really nearby. End up being able to save his smite for the final one, complete that item with the gold lead he picked up with the 2 kills. And it's going to be relevant if there were to be a fight. This is going to be the Dragon going over to Nongshim here, no contest. Lucid is too far away. Yep. Just not interested in this.
As much as he can, as he does get into the Phalite there. Anchor is not quite going to connect. There is the Paranoia coming down to Showmaker. Let's see whether he can get out of this. The answer is no. Bubble does connect, but yeah, if the bubble lands and there's no one there to pop it. Continuing, minions are running out as now Lehens moves over. Lucid diving on forward. Does try and save his control ward, but isn't going to be able to do so. There's the flash in from Lehens. They get the Solar Flare onto Lucid, and Korea realizes he's not going to be able to help here. There's the Arc of Judgment. And Taeyoon able to take down the Kiana. Flash out, Chains of Corruption there from Smash just to keep his support alive. It's coming up, but it could be better as Chains of Corruption are going to come out. Solar Flare is going to hold on to Career as Hens uses him to taxi his way out. There is a hook connecting, but Taeyoon's going to make his way in. And that might be a bridge too far here as Scout is rotating down and Korea is very, very dead. There's an angle under Scout, but the Spring Display of Talent is not exactly named well. And Paranoia comes in. Sponge takes the kill under Lucid, and he's dead for the 4th time.
Yeah, and this gold lead for the Varus is diminishing rapidly as I think this game may be on its last legs here for D+. I know we're only 12.5 minutes in, but this needs to work here for D+.
Yeah, definitely does. They're going to start it. Kingen gets underneath his turret here as Needlework has already been used. See whether Xiu does find the angle. That's a great use of the public execution, but he's still going to be dead because DK just sent everyone.
I mean, D+ have figured it out, okay? They're like, Smash is the win con, he's the one who's ahead. They played through on the offside, they made some mistakes there, but they know where their bread is buttered. In this game, they're like, okay, it wasn't working well, Smash gonna have to cleanse here. Yeah,
immediate cleanse does come on down as he throws out the ulti. Scout moves in though, and boom goes the Varus. Showmaker now looking for a bit of an angle as Korea is in position. That is a very dead Aurora. And she will go down. Xiu now also able to take the top outer turret, and Rift Herald will be secured by DK.
This is such a bizarre game state because, you know, I was making the joke about how they're like, okay, well now it's the top lane Gwen that's the win con, let's play through that, but it actually worked, and that's what we're going to see here in this replay. Showmaker teleport does come through, and they end up getting the kill on Scout as we're having a fight here.
Yeah, Hens is in no man's land one more time, does get stunned up by the Kiana, and he will be going down. Xiu is able to snip him up. And that is a dead Leona one more time. Lucid also now with the smite onto the Raptor camp.
And I think we've already kind of reached the point where D+ can't 5v5 without a crazy wombo as wombo.
Yeah, Xiu is not quite allowed to be here. Does use the flash, but there's the public execution, and down will go the Gwen. Does have a few snips in him, but it's not going to quite work out. So that is a Gwen on the floor. Wave 20 seconds on this Dragon. Looks to be the next port of call as far as the fight is concerned, and DK probably don't want to give this one away for free, but there goes the Paranoia. Sponge gets on in there, the flash out from Lucid, but I don't know whether he's going to survive. He does get the ulti down, but Smash is not going to live through this one, and all of them just take a nap. Lucid, Showmaker, and Smash dead in the blink of an eye.
And that's Baron here for Nongshim, and Taeyoon didn't even really have to do anything. He's like, I'm ready to clean up the kills. They were already on the floor from the combo there as we saw the final ultimate from Career hits Taeyoon, and Taeyoon's in the air like, okay, but the fight is done. Thanks for the effort, though, as Xiu, it looks like he wants to trade this for a Dragon consolation prize here. Yeah, at best for D+, but
I think they will at least be able to get that. But
Scout is like, cool, I'll just take the turret. So I think that's a little bit more valuable than Ocean Soul Point.
Well, they were dead, Wolf. That's the unfortunate reality, and so is Showmaker.
They got a turret +1 Showmaker, and then a mid turret as well.
Yeah, Nongshim are really starting to run away with this game, and you pointed out already, it's whoever sort of starts to get a lead is likely to be able to balloon it. I think DK's answer is, let's just keep starting fights and seeing what we can get done. There's the Paranoia. They're looking to try and turn it here. SolarFlare not quite going to connect, but it doesn't really matter as the Kiana is just dead. Some needlework out onto Scout here as the snipes are starting to come on through. Taeyoon trying to fight back here. Gets the knock-up, does Korea. And now Xiu looking for that angle. The Arc of Ruin is going to slow him up. And it's just so difficult to make something happen. Public execution snatches him out of the air. My God, that was cool from Kingen. Nice. And Showmaker just takes his 5th death of the game.
Okay, I've got enough burst. I got the sleep, and he pops.
Well, Paranoia comes down. The inner turret is already dead. Flash out from Xiu. The rest of the team are going to show up, though, as DK look to try and fight this one back. Kingen rotating down. SolarFlare is fantastic, and the Gwen is not immune. Slurkle comes in, but doesn't get too much joy here as DK with one missing, trying to continue fighting this one out, but Scout in with a great stasis with his Zhonya's, and Smash just has to cleanse to get himself to safety, leaves the rest of his team in the dust, and Nongshim, I think, are just going to put an end to this game and bring us to a game number 3.
We knew it was going to be one-sided from the draft. We just didn't know which direction, but some arrogance, I feel, in some of those bottom-side plays from D+. Some backfires, and a complete snowball rolls down the hill as Sponge runs away with the game on this Nocturne.
Yeah, Sponge playing a fantastic game this time around, but Nongshim ultimately just getting it together. I think top side of the map definitely playing well, but it's the mid-jungle today for Nongshim that are definitely looking the best. Even in game number 1, looking fantastic there despite the result. I mean, that's a classic.
The golden
into the Akali
CC button. And yeah, into Akali, amazing as well. His ultimate value is going to be pretty high in this draft.
Does mean that they don't have a lot of magic damage, as Twisted Fate isn't exactly oozing damage, but...
And he has... His ultimate is practically a teleport, so there's a lot of different setups you can use with it as well.
Smash seeing what he can find here is Nongshim playing very aggressively with their positioning. Ebb and Flow working out quite nicely, though, as DK do have the sustain advantage in this lane. Nongshim certainly with the early damage potential, especially as level 2 does come through. Bailout, things like this start to really make it difficult. As Nongshim, what are we doing here? This is kind of crazy. They're underneath the turret. Lehens is dead, but so is Smash. And so they deny so much of the farm.
Yeah, that ends up being pretty worth here, ultimately. He's going to put him in a significant CS advantage. Dragon. So for D+, they're on the back foot, technically, but they're kind of supposed to be for right now. We'll see what happens, again, when those ults come online, and how they can coordinate team fights and single target CC and the blow-up damage that Smash holds. Because if they can get him ahead, he gets his first item online, starts farming, starts pushing the Kalista out of the mid lane, and D+ have a real fighting chance in this game. But the grubs are being taken, Prio in mid and top side, and the bottom lane is still Nongshim controlled. Nongshim are really starting to pull ahead now.
Well, Lucid will be able to steal away one of the grubs. That is something, as Smash trying to get some work done. Hostile takeover comes in, and Smash is going to help take down Korea. That is going to be the Ren pulled out, and Taeyoon going up to 2-0. Cease and desist in the meantime, though, onto Sponge. A lot of damage there as the burst is enough to take him out. Xiu now looking to move on over as Kingin wants to get involved in the fight, as there is this, not the Supreme Display, the perfect execution from Scout, but he will be going down, and Lucid somehow survives as Kingin not able to get his boomerang to go far enough, and now Xiu able to dash over that wall. Showmaker does still have the flash, and he flashes over the boomerang to lock down Kingin and take him out.
Certainly a big sigh of relief for D+ fans after that one.
With a massive gold advantage, does have his Rod of Ages now completed, and now the Destiny comes in. Gate comes down as well, as the Wildcard's doing a fair bit of work. There's the tidal wave to lock down too. The bubble is there as well, and they just evaporate at the hands of D+.
Yeah, very clean setup again from D+.
To get out of the way.
Little emote to remind everyone that, you know, he was hoping that one a little bit different.
Yeah. Scout
on a flank here, but I don't know if he could really accomplish much. Hoping for the Shock Blast, I suppose, follow-up.
Yeah, does manage to find the Shuriken backfoot there, but Lucid is going to be absolutely fine.
Set it up.
And it was max value for everything in that moment as well, as now Gold Card onto Scout. Lucid once again going to catch him gorgeously with the Vault Breaker, but this time, this time he's going to go down, but it's a trade 1-for-1.
We'll definitely follow up here with the tidal wave backup. Showmaker gets almost the entire turret.
It's kind of ridiculous, the amount that they had there, as Xiu gets the pullback. There's the ulti. This time King is not able to avoid it, as Sponge is moving up, but there's the kill solo for Xiu, and Sponge doesn't want anything of it. Relentless pursuit to get out of the way of Lehens. Hostile takeover comes in, but it's another wave, and this time it's from Korea, as Taeyoon does manage to dodge out of the way. He's got the bailout, but it is not going to be enough, and it's a 2v2 win for the Lucian Nami in the bottom lane.
Buy some space with the hammer, as we're not done yet.
Yeah, Smash is dead, ladies and gentlemen. There is the Hammer to the Skies. A teleport came in from Kingin as well. Smash was very dead.
The Malphite, you know, his losses looked pretty bad. We're like, ooh, I don't know if this does anything. But in this, it's feeling like it's doing a lot, even in a negative game state. Let's see if we can do a lot in this fight.
Yeah, Smash getting so much work done, as there's the tidal wave to get a massive amount of value itself. Fate's Call does come in to keep Lehens alive, as the bailout is not enough, and it's 2 for Smash. He does get taken out here by Scout, though. The perfect execution is pretty good, but Showmaker finds the gold card, and Xiu is going to be able to find the kill, as Scout's out of buttons and out of chances. King in there on the bottom side, trying to get something back, but it's another one-team fight for DK.
Yeah, DK picking up 4 on this one, putting their gold lead into 3,000. Buzzwords would say, oh, I got him, but does not necessarily really feel like a good thing. King in here, desperate now on the 1v2.
Yeah, Gold Card gonna get the flash out for it, and a point-blank culling from Smash. Try and lock down King, and he's very dead. That's gonna be the kill over to Showmaker, thanks to the Lich Bane. As Nongshim looking for the cross map here in the mid lane, they should be able to get it with the help of the Rift Herald, as it's now down exceptionally low. Turret will be taken, but now Xiu is in for the wraparound, looking for that angle.
He's just gonna say, you know what, back away. I'm gonna grab plate gold. Xiu will not follow the order to back away, in fact.
Well, the rest of the team are making their way over. There's the knock-up with the help of the tidal wave, and with Xiu there with the passive. They will be able to put Lehens in the bubble. They take him down, and now Lucid is fighting the rest of them, and this time he's going to stay alive. Ulti comes forward from Xiu, but Sponge, oh no, the gold card, and that's going to spell his demise. 2-0-5 now for the Zahan, but 8-0-5 for Showmaker on the Twisted Fate.
Yeah, Showmaker, I mean, when you see that damage hit, the chunks are huge. Like, he is actually so fed, he can basically just clear waves instantly as well, so he is just going to be able to freely push sides, which he's been doing so much of. By the way, they won that fight in that skirmish without his ultimate. It's online now, and maybe we'll see it collapse onto... I mean, look at this damage already. Scout has Merc Treads. Tier 3.
Well, there is the Destiny once again. Spots where everyone's going, but gets the teleport out and says, all right, Kingen, welcome to the lane.
Career, like Sadami, as we've pointed out multiple times, Xiu
is going to struggle to hold on to his passive, I think, in this play. Let's see how he can actually do, and it looks like he's not going to be able to offer anything back. Down he will go.
Let's see what the
didn't actually have the passive available.
I know I always talk about this, but like it just ends up being true. But
Lucid is the same level as Scout. This is kind of ridiculous.
Scout, run.
Yeah, Cease and Desist will come on forward. And yeah, I don't think the execution is all that perfect, and Showmaker is going to pick it up. That's a Lich Bane proc, and that is a dead Akali. As the rest of DK now looking for an angle. The Destiny, the gate, that's what's coming on forward here as they're looking to lock down Sponge before anything else happens. As Taehoon might be able to take down Smash, and he does. Hostile Takeover is going to connect, but Xiu is still so dangerous. There is the knock-up, and the bailout is not going to do anything at all. It's the Nami that locks up Taehoon, and Lehens is now in no man's land. Kingen still hasn't really been involved in too much so far this game, but does manage to at least get a wave shoved in. And there's the pullback. She is going to be able to lock down the Renata.
Stealer at 14 stacks is a bargain, as Nongshim are just going to take their own desperation Baron here and say, look, you'll have to 5v5 us if 5v5 us if all 5 of us are on this Baron, so come and do it.
Destiny comes in, spots Kingen looking for Showmaker here. Does get on top of him as the rest of DK are going to show up. Lucid gets into the pit, a teleport forward from the Zahan as well as Sponge. Takes so much damage from that culling. Hostile Takeover does absolutely nothing at all as the bubble is fantastic. Lucid goes in, just punches the Renata to death, and Taehoon then has no option. He did have the bailout running, but it's not actually going to do anything at all. It's a double kill here for the jungler from DK. Sponge going to go down as Career finishes him off, and Kingen versus Showmaker wasn't looking great for Kingen on the outset, and now Xiu's going to show up as well. There is the gold card, and down will go the Gnar. That's Baron, that's a clean ace, and DK, they're looking like they'll get revenge after game 2. Let them know that they've done a great job. Said Smash, really good job there as well, dashing forward, playing aggressively. And DK definitely have been playing aggressively in this one. Shuriken backflip, not really doing too much here as, yeah, inhibitor turret will go down. Kingen looks for the angle with the ulti, but Xiu is just going to shrug that one off. And 2-level advantage here for the top laner as well. I mean, this game is very much out of Nongshim's hands now. It's going to require a big mistake here from DK. As Lucid, not going to let that one happen as Xiu decides to dash in. Let's see what they can actually find. Double pullback as the ulti comes down as well. The Destiny comes on in, and down will go the Gnar. Scout looks for the backline, but Showmaker is going to try and hold him in position. And God, the damage is repugnant from DK. Another swift ace, and they will be walking away with another victory here in the LCK Cup.
Thank you, Nongshim, says Showmaker, for letting me put the final pages in the book. The Death Note is complete. D+ will close it out in a 2-1 fashion. Nongshim looking for the sweep, but they could not get any steam in that final game. Took a while to solidify, but we've kind of gotten to the point where we know if the Orianna trade comes through, you want to pair it with a good ball carrier. Sometimes it's the Jarvan. Most of the time it's the Jarvan, but sometimes it's the Alistar. In this case, it's the Nocturne.
So a Batleth is actually a Klingon-style weapon, though. I'm sorry to interrupt. So rude.
Yeah.
But it was. You were right.
I mean, that's what it said on the prompter. That's why I was like, G-Sun's the Klingon person.
Live long and prosper, Wolf.
Yeah.
And G-Sun. And great pulverize here from Peter, who does hit level 6, but he's looking a bit worse for wear as the stun is... Oh, that's first blood over to Jew. And now Doc Dom is dead as well. Andil just throwing the stuns around like they're going out of fashion, and they'll be able to get a swift 2-0 in the bottom lane.
Well, the funny part about both of those exchanges was last time around, like, Jiu probably could have gotten the kill right, but he played conservatively, and then there was the whole funny, like, he didn't flash, but they flashed late. Closer of the Nashor's Tooth is actually pretty massive to pick up, but not going to have it, sadly, for him in time to contest this dragon. And he does not have 3 grubs to utilize it with in the side lane, but it is going to be useful as soon as he moves out of said mid lane. This is going to be first dragon very late in this game. Well, not very late for 26.1 standards, but slightly late.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of late dragons this season.
Oh, next one going to be a Kentek. So a lot of pretty good Drakes, but it will be an Ocean Soul this game because it's an Ocean Soul day. That's just how it goes.
Ionian boots are in style for a lot of mid laners.
Yep.
They have a lot of different flexibility. Feels like the way they changed tier 3 boots even makes like plated steel cops viable in AD carry matchups. As Pyosik is not alone here.
He is a level down. We've got a bit of a top laner fight as well as Dudu is trying to tunnel his way out. That's going to be a steal on the crab as well as Willa making his way in. The exhaust goes down and concussive blows should come through. Never mind. Pyosik able to make his way out as Closer has found Jiu trying to get in amongst this fight as now Yukal comes over and Pyosik is going to be able to make the Wolven exit. Oh, Shockwave to finish him off. And Yukal says goodnight to Pyosik there. Yukal up and available, and look at it. It is up and available. They will be starting off this dragon, though. That's going to be the first thing. Control vision in the pit. As Rich doing some battle here with Dudu, but you can see that the Rek'Sai is having a much better time at this stage of the game. Titanic Hydra in hand. And there is the dragon going down. It's a Mountain Soul. So finally, we are free of Ocean Prison. It's not to invest the flash to try and take down Yukal here. Didn't want to go for the trade.
That's just free Herald, though. Like, Pyosik is sitting down there going, all right, let's see if they fall for our trap.
Yep.
And Yukal is just simply way too experienced and has a good read on the situation. There's just a lot of vision top side as well. Like, well, I mean, if Pyosik is not here, then he must be doing something funky on the bottom side. Let's just slow play this, play defensively, and the Willer, as soon as they are able to suss this out, it's just like, all right, cool, thanks for the free Herald. They have gotten every single objective that the map has to offer. Trying to make sure it doesn't exist, you know? Like, perfect games, the perfect game doesn't exist.
They're going to kill Shelly, though, after she charges, and so that means it can't be a perfect game, right? Because that's Rift Herald. That's an objective.
No, that's a Rift Herald kill, you're right.
Oh, no. And yeah, so Dr. Arm is going to lock that one down. So no
Call me crazy, but I mean, I'm looking at Peter's ward score. Pyosik on the bottom side of the map, so this dragon should be safe, but they might get the turret, Atlas.
Oh no! Oh, that can't be it. If there's a pulverize, as Yukal gets the shockwave off, the stun does come on through, but Jiu makes his way over to save the perfect game. Peter doesn't have an unbreakable will this time around.
Get up there and save that turret.
Yeah, Closer is trying to. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, the perfect game goes boom.
I cannot believe Yukal did not flash to save the turret.
Chastised them for giving up the perfect game. I think that was a really large portion of what went wrong there.
It doesn't feel like we're on perfect game pace because of the fact that this is not a game where it's like an 8,000 gold lead at 20 minutes. Like, that's usually when we're talking about perfect game. It's just been so calculated by DRX, though, this whole time.
Yeah, and it does mean that DNS aren't out of this just yet. Yes, we've been making perfect game jokes and things like that.
Yeah, but
it is sole point, so that is a huge deal.
As it's really just Yukal and Andil kiting back when Jiu shows up and does extra damage. His Closer was too busy denying the perfect game to come down and help.
But he did a very good job denying it at that. I mean, that's what he's supposed to do. As DNS, don't give it to DRX for free like you did all of the Dragons this game. Have that and play together with Jiu, and then you can win. So that's what they're going to go for here. As Andil is going to get knocked up. Jiu is there, though. He is certainly playing with Jiu. As in goes Willa. Finds the angle. Emperor's Divide, but he spell shields it absolutely beautifully. The Shockwave comes in to take down Closer. And there is Pyosik hitting the deck as well. Dr. kiting pretty nicely, but he is the last man standing. Andil will go down, but it's in trade for Dudu. Dr. does have the shield from the barrier, but unable to kill Jiu, who is still sitting at 300, and I think they will just walk over, take the Baron, and then 1 minute's time, it'll be Mountain Soul.
Instructions unclear, kind of play with Jiu and take Baron before Mountain Soul. That's what he said, right?
Yep.
Something like that, and that is going to be the Baron. Jungleless with the full wipe, and then they should be able to regroup and take the Mountain Soul out. Tried his best, but ultimately does fall flat on his face, and now they can regroup, like I said, for the spawning Mountain Soul fight. Willer has his ultimate back at the ready. Yukal the same. 16 for both. The jungle advantage here is 2 levels for Willer.
Well, Wind becomes lightning. In he goes. Pyosik does get exhausted as there's the Crescent Guard as well. Rich standing in that front line, though, looking to try and cut down this Xin Zhao, and he will do so. The Shockwave was used on the air because it was just Pyosik's corpse that was in the area. But now there is no smite to try and contest this Mountain Soul. The rest of DNS realize they have to go in, but it's Rich that pulls the trigger first. Dr. tries to dash away, but there's a slice and a dice waiting for him. His closer with the Emperor's Divide is going to put some Sand Soldiers in the way, but the rest of his team are going to fall like paper, and DRX will get their prize and look for even more with a 3.3k Rebel Baron power play already.
Does this DRX roster kind of reminds me of old days, like slow, boring macro Gen G, where you're like, oh, they're just not fighting a lot, but they have a huge lead, and when they do fight, they pick the right targets, and they win the fight every time. There was going to be to do anything further, as Duckdom has not done damage this game, which is not a surprise to anyone who's been watching it.
It's been quite difficult for him to be able to actually hit people. As Rich, highest level in the game, hitting level 18 already, looking for level 19, try and go even further beyond.
They just take only the fights that are favorable for them, or the pick angles that are favorable for them.
Not sure how that one works structurally, but look, we've gone into it before, and I don't think we've ever had the right answer.
It's very magical to have.
2 sticks equals a hat.
Yeah. Wolf. Very, very magical.
All right, well, Ju is looking for a little bit of an engage here. Does get headbutted, but there is the delivery into the backline. Willa is going to make Duckdom very scared once again, and Peter, his will is going to be broken, ladies and gentlemen. I just think that that's what's going to happen. There's the dissonance to take him down, and DRX, oh man, they find a few stragglers, and DRX should be now able to break open this base and possibly take us to a game number 2.
Yeah, that's the kind of place you're in as Duckdom where you're considering role swapping like Ghost. So you're like, oh no, this role. Closer.
Well, there's the flash as Ju just stands there and is able to Valkyrie after him, finishes off that kill. Man, Ju is having a much better year in 2026, you have to say it, as the inhibitor going to go down towards his bottom side. They're going to take this wave of minions, and they are going to careen towards the Nexus, and I can see Joker already celebrating in the coach's booth, as that was some textbook League of Legends from DRX, as they take down the Nexus and go up 1-0 in the series.
There's a Sivir, the wave clear.
Yeah, everyone's running way faster.
I think this draft is frankly a lot of strong individual parts in terms of, okay, you got a good matchup for the Kennen. Pioshik's on a comfort pick. Ryze does decent into the Talia.
The way of the big old spear. As Closer rotating up as well. Now it's a possible re-engage angle as there's a Zenith Blade. Yukal will be able to throw this Ryze back, and Closer just a little bit in no man's land and will be taken down. First blood goes over to Andal, so not exactly optimal here for DRX.
The thing Sivir does besides extreme boom boom damage with crit damage buffed on this patch.
Well, gonna need to pull out some sort of Hex Flash play here as Andal finds himself in a very uncomfortable position. Realm Warp, though, to try and get in here and punish him, and that's going to be Closer able to lock him down. That's Closer getting the kill as well, but there's a flick back onto Pioshik. He's in a bit of trouble as Willa looking for another round of skills, and there it is, the spear to finish him off. Gio now turns up. Red White Gun set up here for Duckdom, though. He's so scary, and down goes the Pantheon. Gio has to flash. And Duckdom already demonstrating the power of this pick. Yukal just not with enough damage at this stage of the game.
Yeah, Pioshik denied here, so the Dragon is not going to be taken.
Different, as we're not going to see a Seismic Shot, we're just going to see a Ghost here from Closer to avoid any of that danger as Willa.
Yukal's
already on these grubs.
Is Ghost a dash?
Can I put down the rocks to stop him from maybe he trips over?
Must be pretty awkward to like run very quickly through those rocks, but I guess if you're, you know, if you can't...
It's like stepping stones, you know, like over a river or something like that. Way of the Gnar.
Yeah, the initial Gnar doesn't hit, and then see the flash traded. And that's the end of that. Andal...
Grabbed him to set up for this play potentially as Gio comes over, but I think Andal is just dead. He flashes anyway. Optimistic at best. And the Leona will be taken down, so DNS looking a lot better in this moment, evening out the gold.
This was the answering Kennen pick that is not really finding much outside of defending the turret thus far. Dragon is going to go over. Let's see what we get second here. It will be the Cloud Drake. And this game has been, once again, like outside of a few crazy scraps, a little bit of a tug of war where a vision game for DRX is superior.
Ooh, cute
one thing they don't see,
there's
though.
a slicing Maelstrom. The Gnar pushes him back, and there is the Q connecting from Pioshik. Willa turns up, but then he realizes he doesn't really want to be here. Q going to connect there from Pioshik, who does go in. Yukal's in position, though. As the stun comes down, flash out there as they see the Realm Warp, and they do not want any of it.
You can see also Yukal was in position to Weaver's Wall in, but opted not to once he realized the fight was lost before he even got there.
Oh, there's Zenith Blade in from Andal, but this is Red White Guns on Duckdom. Andal is dead, right? Yeah, Duckdom just able to kill him there in the 1v1 underneath the turret. Red White don't fight, DRX. You know this.
That was very peculiar, but he did unlock a turret plate achievement as well.
He did definitely get that. Pioshik's making his way down, though. There's the flash. Really good use of the spell shield, but it does not matter. There's the kickback, and Pioshik will be able to lock down the Sivir as well.
Because he doesn't have any spell shield before.
Yeah, just kind of wishes that he had more opportunities than that, as Weave as well does bring Yukal towards the top side of the map. Dudu able to make his way out, though. Uses the flash, slicing Maelstrom, everything. As the eye is being defended here by DNS. As let's see, Andal is going to face check. Pioshik makes his way over. Jiu now looking for a bit of an angle here as Andal flashes out of the way. Good shove to protect their support as Pioshik almost down. As, not quite able to get enough of these Beyblades over the top, and now Gio could find himself in an awkward position. Man drop comes down as Willa looks to try and stop Peter. Pop Blossom comes on forward. He stacked up the Q though, just needs to land it. He will not, but just the edge of the boomerang blade, and down will go the Nico. I believe the eye is going to mean that Shelly does not play a part in today's second game. Which is very sad.
I think it got picked up.
Oh, they did! Never mind, Willa got it!
You nearly did. And now we're going back to clearing waves in the mid lane. Still a pretty good position in this game for DNS.
Yep.
Especially
they will be able to get a double dragon as well.
Exactly, double dragon here for them. And we'll see what the soul is, because DNS are hoping for a high roll with this turret disappearing.
Well, and it's going to be Chemtech, so not exactly the best.
Kind of okay for Aphelios?
Yeah, and it's kind of okay for some of the shields. There's a Seraphs that's getting built. I mean, there are angles here. This turret is going to go down in the mid lane. Closer is looking to answer on the bottom side, but it's a trade up for DRX.
Yeah, 2 for 1 here. And it looks like that might take even an extra wave to go down on the bottom side. It's going to be close, as I think it should still go down. And Yukal is going to play defensively, so will. But the scaling Sivir versus scaling Aphelios argument is really interesting. He only has 1 flash, he only has 1 cleanse. And let's see what happens with this shove.
Yeah, there's a kickback onto Yukal. He's real dead. Not sure about what the goal was there, as Ando going to get tagged by a Sonic Wave as well. Willer in the area, Jiu rotating down. There's a teleport in from the cannon, but Rich is here already. 3-man Pop Blossom is great from Peter, but he's just dead. Not an angle that he can actually fight in, and Dudu is so far away. Pioshik looks for it, but there is a Gnar into the wall. And the Lee Sin does have to do some shenanigans to get himself out. They get the stun onto Dudu. Slicing Maelstrom, though, is going to be the end of Andal. And finally, Dom shows up, and he's got the right guns to do it. Jiu now with the boomerang blade, but they're not going to be able to close in. Still 3 on the floor, and just in trade for Peter, DNS will take that.
And now they're way too deep into a cannon.
Well, now we've got a bit of an angle as Dom could be in trouble. Solar Flare doesn't work, but that is a threaded volley. It is going to be able to take down Dom. He had to use Flash as well.
How do Dom live?
Yeah, that's a tough. I don't have the answer to that one. Andal just going to flash in, does manage to find the angle here, even through the flash. And Dudu not able to get too much value here, as Jiu wanted to be able to get that last auto, but Yukal, he outranged the slicing Maelstrom, so he's the one that gets the kill. Rich deals with the turret towards the bottom side, and DRX, the way Peter needs to engage is when Dudu is ready to get massive damage. As now Yukal is likely to be dead again. Pioshik able to set up for that one, does get flung back, but he will still be able to go down. Closer will be able to grab his 4th kill of the game. This Rise will be very scary.
It could be the deciding fight here of this game, now potentially of the series. Willer!
Oh, Willer just dives in, looks for Dudu. Solar Flare going to slow him down. As now Jiu looking for an angle, but he's kind of lonely at this point in time. Boomerang Blade's sort of missing all over the place, but there's a Weaver's Wall from Yukal. Pop Blossom as Peter finds 3, and they take down Jiu to start the fight. Rich now looking to try and take down the Nico, but this is so dire as Dom has so much protection. Both of the damage dealers are now on the floor, and DRX, you flubbed that one.
Yeah, they really did. They just were not able to get consistently set up to do the damage with Jiu. He was kind of going in by himself, as Willer was able to get a lot of health bar, but not actually as secure. That was pretty closer than I think it would have made Pioshik comfortable. Grab this mid turret, some additional plate gold for their carries. But Willer's idea here, not really do anything for them. It's not the deciding fight of the game, but it definitely puts DNS back in the driver's seat.
And this is exactly how fights need to look for DNS as well. They need to find Pop Blossoms and get enough damage. There's a kick. Beautiful knock-up onto Andal, as well as Yukal has to flash to get himself out of the way. There is a mega disengage cone up and available, as Pioshik not going to quite find the Q, but Closer, he finds it, and down will go Yukal. Now Willer just desperately trying to leave, and DRX are very quickly falling apart.
This is starting to be
Joker, where is the coach call? We need the coach call right now.
It's like a Baron angle.
Oh, and Doctom is not going to lose health. He can probably tank it, to be perfectly honest.
Lost his red gun.
All right, DRX now moving in. These health bars are going down. But let's see, there's so much damage. There's a solar flare onto Doctom, but he's not too worried about it. Willer is on vision as Peter doesn't find the Pop Blossom, but it was all zoning. As now into the backline goes Dudu. Andil is going to be able to lock him up as Rich should be able to take down the cannon. Never mind, he just flashes away, and Giu is dead yet again. Yukal just now respawning. The Willer is also going to suffer the same fate. Nice sidestep there from Rich, but it's too little, it's too late. It's a 6,000 gold lead. They have Soul Point, and there is the kick back onto Rich. He should be dead. Hop comes through, and there's the flash, so he survives.
The Dragon fight might not have been, but I do think this was the deciding game here, or the game-deciding fight here for DNS to bring us to a third and final game, our sixth of the day.
Yeah,
that's the Baron that goes over on
is
top
this
of
our
the Dragon.
first sixth gamer?
I think it is, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
the farm in 2 lanes and a big plate to go down here for closer. The final one of that inner turret will be the whole turret is TP flank from Rich is optimistic. He's got only a little bit of Gnar left.
All right. They look for closer, but he's just going to press Ghost and gets himself the heck out of there.
Who was he flanking? So, and he's got Flash and Cleanse, so...
Oh,
good luck with that.
As a big old Gnar as Dudu gets thrown into the wall. There is the stun from Willer at the same time, but the Slicing Maelstrom still goes off. And now the fight is going to start. Pyosik gets on top of his target, and Willer is going to be taken down. Yukal, unfortunately, just hasn't done much of anything this game, and will once again die as an afterthought. And DNS, man, they're making this one look good. Doctom on his signature pick,
I mean, you can
and he's going to pick up a win with it.
You can see the intent in DRX's actions. Try to get on Doctom. Oh, can't quite reach him. Okay, the cannon's in range. We blow him up because we've seen so many of these mid-game fights where they just single target blow somebody up, but they're just too far behind now. They can't kill Dudu in time. He's got his Maelstrom, and they're just fighting tooth and nail to try to get anything back. Time will get that pesky rat.
Maybe they can do it. Flash is available, though, for Dudu, so it is still going to be a very difficult task.
He also has ult still as well.
All right. Well, Rich has Wit's End, so let's see. 2 inhibitors now going down, though, as DNS just playing this one by the book.
Maybe learning a little bit from the DNF 10,000 gold lead that didn't go so well last year.
I mean, right now, they don't have a mid laner. Yukal's 3 levels behind, 4.5 thousand gold behind. Rich is flanking, I guess, as Doctom. Let's see whether he can survive this one. He flashes. Yukal goes golden, but look at the AoE from this guy. Just presses Q with Severum, and everyone's dead. Giu likely to go down as well. Does manage to pick up a little Pikachu on his way out, but that is going to be closer flashing for it. Willa manages to get one, but it's Doctom at full health that completes the ace, and that is going to be the end of the game.
I liked the peel from support Cannon and support Nico as they try to kill Doctom and fail miserably. I told you guys the front line, it's the ultimates, and it's also the positioning of Doctom. I did not believe. I was not a believer. I thought this composition just was too risky, too many ways to kill the Aphelios. Doctom says no, not today. The Gwen side lane angle, there's a bit of scaling damage in this Aurora that's relatively safe, and the Lucian is going to be a late game threat, but so will the Kalista, I think, in terms of matching it. I think this game is going to be a bloody game. How many of these shock blasts are we going to see Pyosik hit? We saw almost all of them hit for Sponge in the early game last time around.
He did a very good job.
And that's, you know, why we were joking that they've increased the amount of Korean Jaces quickly.
Well, let's see whether Pyosik is going to be one of them as well. As Yukal going to take a nap momentarily. And with
Ghostblade
finding a Ghostblade, yeah, exactly. Flash does come out as Closer looks for it. He'll find it, and they go 1 for 1. But first blood over to the Zoe, and Closer feeling real good about how this lane is going. Oh, it doesn't actually connect. As we're going to check this one out from Closer's perspective, just finds the sleepy trouble bubble and Ghostblades at him.
Looked a little janky there, but that's Zoe.
Yep.
Closer picks up the flash just a second too late.
There's the Rend. There's Doctom. Okay, some needlework here towards his top side as well as Dudu going down low, but Pyosik is in the area. Flash comes forward, and Rich realizing what's going on here. He doesn't have Flash, and he denies. Oh, never mind, he doesn't. That's actually the kill picked up for Pyosik. And DNS continuing to find advantages as Peter and Doctom. Let's see how this dive's going to go as Willa makes his way down. He's got Cataclysm available, gets the knock up onto Doctom, and slam dunk as the Kalista is taken down. Peter for some reason, decided to bail himself out. And unfortunately, that is not going to quite work as Jiu just finishes off the kill.
Maintain Prio if they want to 3v3 this, and they will, and then potentially rotate over. But Willer does have his ultimate, so this is very scary.
Yeah, Pyosik does have that dragon leashed. Should be able to take this one down. First Drake of the game over to DNS, but now Willer makes his way in. Hostile takeover. Gets rid of Willer for the moment, but Yukal was trying to come down. He does go between the worlds. His Fate's Call comes on through. Docked Arm looking to try and get bailed out, but it does not work, and Yukal's even going to survive. Shock Blast, not quite enough damage. And out goes the Aurora. That is 2 swift kills, but the Drake goes over to DNS.
It was, you know, a bit rocky there in terms of the setup. There's a lot of situational engage tools for DNS, like this Trouble Bubble, like the Jace Hammer.
Yeah.
You know, Cassante pulling somebody through a wall with the All Out.
How you do the winning, especially when you get hit by Shock Blast as well. Willer's making his way over though as Yukal goes between the worlds, and there is a Cataclysm looking to try and hold this Zoe at bay as Pyosik at full health, but he's not going to be able to help out and even gets knocked up by the Tidal Wave himself. And Closer going down there. It is another kill the champions. Drake started up here by DRX. That's why that turret is not something they're going to stick around for, wanting to make sure they're not going to have these Drakes stacked up against them. Yukal off to the side. Between worlds, very close to coming off cooldown. Cataclysm as well, 7 seconds away.
Another Chemtech Dragon.
All right, another Chemtech Soul. Kind of good for Gwen. Get a lot of extra health back and stuff like that. A little bit. Dudu finding a great angle. Gets the needlework out of Rich. Rich is now just going to go back home.
Do we hit these?
Well, Rich can
I'm
press
still
W.
asking. I'm once again asking, do we hit these? No.
Yeah, presses W and is going to be A-OK. Will is making his way forward, though. There's the knock-up, and Tidal Wave once again gets a flash out of Pyosik. Flash immediately out of the Cataclysm as Willer goes in, and now between worlds, Yukal wanting to find the kill as the bailout. I don't think is going to work, and that is a kill over to Yukal. Kill the champions, Wolf. That's what he's doing. Willer once again flagging and dragging, but Peter does have the flash, and that will be able to keep him alive. But DRX, they're just killing way more champions this game. Strategies.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, I'm reading between the lines on his movements on the map.
Aha!
Spelling
Wow.
out. I could speak Yukal.
You're the Yukal whisperer.
Yeah, I could speak Yukal a little bit. I can tell you that after the first death in this game, he told everyone he would like to fall out of his chair, but he was told by his team that that was not appropriate. He will not be doing it again. Oh, Duckdom!
Yeah, Rich doesn't get hit by the Pierce, but let's see whether he can actually kill Duckdom and Peter here, as it's taking them a long time to get through him. Oh, the bailout's procced, and the rend is not enough. 2 versus 1. Rich loves those odds, as now Willer looking to come on forward as well. Will be able to knock up Peter here, and there is no turret, ladies and gentlemen. That is a dead Renata right there. Holds onto the flag and drag. There it is. And not exactly in the greatest of positions, but still will be taking him down. Bailout or no bailout, that is a dead Renata. And Pyosik's like, well, at least I'll take my Krugs.
Yeah. Lost Viking is like, get in the boat. So conditional engage, right? Conditional engage. It hit. They are in the mist, so he's not immune. However, he is Gwen. That is a level 9 champion. He's a level 12 champion.
Yeah.
So...
And the other one's a level 7 champion. All right. Well, Yukal is going to get sleepy once again. Let's see where the... yeah, he's just really dead. That's the 1-2 punch from the Jace and the Zoe.
Maybe a turret and trade here in the mid lane, but...
The flanking numbers in the scoreline that really do dictate happiness. As okay, Will looking for a bit of an angle here, doesn't quite find the knockups, but Pyosik's in a little bit of trouble. He does have to flash to get out of the Cataclysm. Another big old boat flies by, but it doesn't find too much joy there as Jiu gets distracted and starts shooting his teammates. Hostile takeover, though, not exactly the most impactful. As Yukal, I don't know about that one, as he dives into the enemy team and does give Duckdom a little bit more happiness. It's a triple in the end for the Callista as Jiu, oh, do not throw away that big old bounty, my friend. He throws in the culling, but it doesn't really do too much. And DNS, I mean, Baron's been around for 30 seconds. Maybe they're just going to take it down.
There's no ult here for Jiu. There's no tidal wave. I think trying to make something of this is asking for that shutdown to go over, but they are just simply not willing to give it up.
Oh, Jiu taking matters into his own hands, I guess, as the Baron will be going down, but can they get anything? There's a handshake, Jiu. I just don't know whether that was worth it, my friend. And but I do know. I actually don't want to talk about it. Yeah, it was. I'm going to say it was not.
When I said Jiu was more confident, more aggressive.
Beach ball.
He is. He really, really is. It was very well showcased in this moment. I'm going to try to push it, but that was probably not the moment. That was... Pick your battles, but don't pick that one.
Yeah.
This was the big bursty damage.
That was a very dead Yukal.
And... I don't know what conclusions we're supposed to draw from this game. Like, does this mean Jace is good? I don't really think we learned anything about that.
That's exactly what this composition does. I mean, the siege is ridiculous. You just saw that shock blast. That means that this inner turret is dead. That's just all there is to it.
And it's about to be another one. Coming straight at you. Pure Shake, line it up. The observers are ready.
Battlestar. Not going to quite find you, but the shock blast does. And that spells the end of this inhibitor turret as well. DRX realizing that they really need to do something or their base is just going to fall apart.
They have Flash on their Jarvan, but everyone is grouped. There's not a great target here. So Willer needs to find an angle, but it's just so tough.
Yeah, the Dusante, we're going to try and take this turret down as Willer looks for the angle there. Does put Doctom in the Cataclysm as, okay, there's a tidal wave running forward. Doctom in a little bit of trouble, but does, oh, Yukal gets into the backline again and just gets wiped out. The bailout was there anyway from Doctom. Uses both of his summoners, but this is exactly what they're there for, as the DN Supers might be on the verge of their very first victory here in the LCK Cup after a disappointing first week. DRX, unfortunately, not able to make it happen here. All the poke comes in.
Willer just used his Flash Cataclysm earlier, so doesn't have that Flash anymore. I mean, Yukal has his ult back, but he is on 2 items.
Man. Dudu is also an entire item ahead of Rich.
Banshee's Veil.
Very far behind.
We have Edge of Night. Okay, here's the flank.
Yeah, let's see whether they can make it happen as Yukal once again going between the worlds. There's a Cataclysm into the backline as Yukal's dead once again. And Gio is just trying to get away from this Cassante, who is just way too big. Rich gets into that backline though. They do manage to take down the Jace as Closer still hunting for the rest of DRX. There are a lot of people now trying to take down some Nexus turrets. As Chiu, let's see what he can actually get done here. Needs to get out of the way of this brick wall that is Dudu, who just dives towards him. Doctom almost falling down here, but Willer, can he get it? The knockup does come through, and Rich turns up to try and take down this Callista once again. But the Dusante says you are not winning this game, and Rich will be falling. It's a triple for the Zoe, and Closer once again showing that he's the better mid laner here in this series today. Yukal will be respawning, but I just don't know whether that's going to mean too much here for DRX, as him and Andal are just doing their very best to try and find it here. Great Q3 from Dudu to try and lock down Yukal, who is just desperately trying to kill minions, trying to kill Closer, and neither are things that he's really managing to figure out, as all the heal comes through there from Andal, but tidal wave not going to be enough, and down will go both of them. Gio shows up yet again though. Oh, can he actually find a couple of kills before his Nexus inevitably dies? The answer is yes, there's one. Dudu is now getting very low, and I think this game is a disaster. Peter now running away, and there's the culling. So, you know, a lot of them are dead. It was a crescent blade or axe.
Sounds like they need to get on that.
Yeah, so it's
man,
we can call it the crescent of truth.
I sure hope that I one day can buy a model Renekton and it'll have really high detail on its crescent blade / axe.
Well, it may just have that, as he's in the Cataclysm, but who's trapped in where with who? The rest of his team is just not there.
I personally did not witness, I was not there, I was on a plane, but I was told Legends of and then watched a VOD of a 10,000 gold lead from a certain organization.
No.
Oh,
Wolf, no, surely no. No. They would never do it again. They couldn't do it again. Oh, no. There's no way. No, don't even say it. Don't put it into existence.
And the
to
gold
get
lead
money
streaks further.
Yeah. All right, Willow looks for the angle once again. Handshake gets rid of him. And there's the shock blast. That's what needs to land as Gio gets closed in on. There's hostile takeover, and he explodes with the Ren damage. Peter now in trouble. It's a double kill for Doctom, who gets put in the bubble. Dudu looks for the angle. It's a triple. And I told you that it was impossible There was no way they were going to be able to withstand the power of the DN Supers this time around as they march up the mid lane. Only Willa and Rich.
Are you telling me or are you telling Dudu and Pioshik who lived it?
I don't know. I think I'm telling myself and hoping that it is indeed true as Closer looks for it here. Rich is still very scary as Willa just trying to take care of Closer momentarily. He has a GA, but Rich not going to be able to help bail him out, I don't think. And there's only so much needlework that can be done here. As a lot of buttons are going wide, he's trying to pull the minions, goes golden.
10 seconds on Geo, there's no way, right?
Yeah, I mean, these turrets are just going to fall like paper. Gio is going to show up. He's marching out with that big old horse, but there's the all-out as he looks to try and take down Closer. He does at least get one, but Dr. is focused on the Nexus, and down it will go.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.